Welcome to, I don't know, I guess a vlog? I don't know how, I don't know, it's kind of a first impressions thing, so I guess it technically is considered a vlog, I guess, although, I don't know. It's completely impromptu, so consider it what you will. But today, I want to weigh in on two things I watched recently. And I wasn't originally going to talk about the first one, but because I didn't have that much to say about it, but then after I watched the second thing, I figured I could just lump them together and hey, combo! Yeah, so today we're discussing two new anime that are starting to air. Sailor Moon Crystal and Persona 4 The Golding, the animation. Okay, so let's start with Sailor Moon Crystal. I really don't have that much to say about it. I know everybody's already kind of waiting on this. There's like so many impressions and video on the internet. I was originally going to just leave this one until a decent amount of it come out, but for those curious about my very first impressions, as of the time of recording, only one episode of both of these shows are out, but I'm just looking at it, I'm just like, this doesn't really need to exist. That could summarize my thoughts on both shows, really, but with Sailor Moon Crystal, I understand they're trying to keep it much closer to the manga than the original anime from way back in 1992 was. And obviously, when you have a show that was so filler-tastic as the original Sailor Moon, well, I can see how there was a lot to trim and how you might want to keep it closer to the manga in most respects. So, in that, I can see why, but then you're running into the DBZ Kai problem of, you know, you're not adding anything, you're just cutting stuff out. And yes, you're cutting out fat, don't get me wrong, but then why do you need it if you're just losing content? No, to be fair, Dragon Ball Kai was basically reusing the original animation for the most part, only cleaning it up. Nothing was really redrawing or made the look any better, so yeah, that was a thing. While Sailor Moon Crystal, visually, it is nothing like the original show. And this is both a good and a bad thing. Let's make no mistake about it. This is a gorgeous looking show. It's probably one of the best looking episodic anime series I've seen to date. It looks good. It looks really good, with the aside being the transformation doesn't look all that good. It's straight CG, and you can tell it's straight CG, but the transformation not so good. The rest of the show freaking gorgeous. I heard someone claim that this was going at 60 frames a second, which for animation is freaking insane. Almost nothing to animate at 60 frames progressive, so if that's the case, it really shows. The character designs are kinda, I guess they're true to the manga, but I don't know, to me it just looks like they have these big pouty lips, and we'll see how it looks as we turn on. I'm not necessarily against the redesigned characters, it's just, I don't know, something just doesn't quite sit right with them for me, and that may just be because I'm so incredibly used to the original anime. And another thing that kinda I found jarring was how, for lack of a better way to put it, more realistically this is animated. This is a difficult one to explain, but everything seems to flow more realistically, especially just in general. And it's to compare it to the original show, which had many cartoony moments, especially with all the anime shorthand, and you'd have characters flailing around, and basically the type of cartoon style anime is really known for. And the original Sailor Moon was soaked in that. Now, this may be mostly due to trying to save money on that particular show, because the budget for the original Sailor Moon, despite how successful it was, wasn't great. All the reused animation is a real clear indicator of that. But, well, I mean, I got used to it. That's kind of what I think of when I think of Sailor Moon. And the new show, I don't know, we'll see how it goes. As of right now, there was something that was kind of bugging me. It's not a fault, so to speak, it's just something that kind of is bugging me. Other than that, the plot of the first episode is almost point for point the exact same as the original anime. Although the couple things that they changed weren't necessarily for the better. Again, from what I hear, this is completely true to the manga, don't get me wrong, but it's just like when she first runs into Mamoru for the very first time, and he's already in a tuxedo. And then you're just like, really? So all you do is add the mask and the top hat and no one recognizes you? Well, to be fair, this is also the same show where, Sailor Moon literally puts on some frilly ornaments and no one recognizes she's her, despite her extremely distinctive hairstyle and the fact that she goes out of her way to mention how distinctive her hairstyle is. But I digress. Honestly, it's coming out slowly. It looks good. We will see exactly how much it changes from the original anime series, what cuts, and hopefully what it adds. And what it adds is kind of what I'm really looking forward to see how they change things out, what they add to it. That's pretty much the near and far of it for me. On to subject 2, Persona 4, the animation. Okay, so this just... Why? Why are you making this? I don't understand why you need to go about this. For those not in the know, there was already a Persona 4 anime. It came out only a couple years ago. What, 2011, I think. So you decide to tell the same story, basically, only in a second series? Because Persona 4 the Golden, the game that they're adapting into this anime, it added some things. The only thing it added that was even minutely plot critical was Marie. And yes, they do go out of their way to play up Marie in this episode. In fact, even giving her, cameos and small appearances, when really there was no point of it. But whatever. It was just, it doesn't need to exist. There's not enough additional content, story-wise, in Persona 4 the Golden to justify this. I don't understand how they think they're going to stretch this out to an entire series. I just don't. Especially when Persona 4 the animation was relatively well liked. I mean, yeah, it had a couple faults. It had some pacing problems. Unfortunately, that was more due to the fact that, well, that was the problem with the game. Something that, is a nice distraction from the monotony of the game is poorly optimized screen time in a show, and since it kind of had a chronological thing going on, it was kind of difficult to avoid that and still be faithful. So it was a problem with the source material, if you ask me. The animation was pretty good. There was a couple areas where you see it tank a little bit, but certainly nothing that you can pang at. So this is a completely different studio making this one, but looks a little better. I mean, yeah, that's the best thing I can say about it. It looks a little better. Still doesn't justify its existence to me. God. What else can I say about this? It just doesn't need to be here. It doesn't need to be. The only reason I'm watching it is because I'm just confirming in my mind that this doesn't need to exist. Oh, man. Like I said, if it decides to depart drastically from the games because it knows most of the people watching it, guess what? Played the games and or watched the first anime series, then that'll be fine. If they actually play with that, like there's some very, very small indications that this may be similar to the New Game Plus mode in the game, where you've already been through the game once, so it's possible that you might actually have memories of what happened before. Certainly acts like it, like he knows what's going on, so I don't know. We'll see. There's some minor indications of that, and that would be an interesting thing to see. You know, basically he's going through the same events a second time, at least a second time. And he always knows what's coming, he's just rolling with the punches. That would be fine. I wouldn't have... I mean, okay, it wouldn't be fine if they don't switch things up, but if they actually do something with that, then I could see how you could milk this. But if you're just going to do a straight retelling of the game story again, then why bother? Well, ranted on long enough about these two shows. Both of them are in the first episode. Sailor Moon Crystal has been licensed by Viz, and Viz is also re-releasing the original show on DVD and Blu-ray with a new dub, and I'm excited to see the new dub. I want to see what it's like. I've been actually re-watching the original show on my set, but I hope they get... They claim that they're getting a lot of the original actresses back, and I'd like that. I know in the Japanese version, the original actress is still playing Sailor Moon, and a lot of the original actresses and actors are back, believe it or not. Especially on the major characters. But, as far as Persona 4 the Golden, yeah, I don't know. I have some minute hope that this will turn into something worthwhile, because I'm really big into Persona 4. Let me put it this way, I nearly creamed my jeans when I found out there was about to be a Persona 4 Wastewood set. Yeah. Despite the fact that I haven't had enough money to play the game in a long time, but yeah. So, I don't know. We'll see. But, oh, I was going to mention that Persona 4 The Golden, the animation, is licensed by Aniplex USA. And that makes me want to burn a puppy by fire. Because once again, Aniplex USA gets another series that I may want to own. So, yeah, that's a thing. I hate Aniplex USA. Anyway, I could rant on that for an hour, but I've already run pretty long on this for just first episode impressions. Check them out. I know they're both on Crunchyroll. And tell them, let me know your thoughts on them if you've watched them. Thanks for watching.